So welcome to our morning yoga. So let's start with our breath and an oil. I'm using peppermint to give me a little bit of a wake up on a Monday morning. And just take a little bit of oil, just arrive in your week, in your breath. If you don't have an oil, that's fine as well. And let's just bring our hands on our heart, connect to our breath today, taking deep inhales through the nose, clearing exhales through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose, exhale. Breathing in gratitude for this week. Breathing in gratitude for being here today on the mat with your kiddos. Charlotte, making it here is a big achievement for you mamas. And then let's bring our hands down onto our knees. Last week I was like, God, I've been doing a lot of legs, a lot of hips, and no shoulders. So today I'm like, oh, God, I need to do the shoulders. So let's work on our shoulders a little bit more today. So first of all, let's take our shoulders up and work them away from the ears. And then change direction, circling the shoulders. And then bring your hands onto your shoulders, bring your elbows up and back. Again, if you've got any little niggles or anything like that, then just modify as you need. Nice big breaths. Inhaling, belly expands. Exhale, belly releases. Bring your hands down. Take your shoulders up to your ears. Inhale. And then exhale. Drop down. And again. One more. And then take your right arm up to the sky, bend your right arm, take your left hand onto your elbow and just release the elbow down as you stretch over to the left side. Just feeling a little stretch in the side body. Option to bind, to bring the hand underneath you and take it a little bit deeper. So I'm just connecting my music. And then take your hands up to the sky. Inhale, engage the pelvic floor. Other side. So bring your hand onto the elbow. And as you're doing this, release over to the right side. Option to bind if that feels nice for your shoulder. And then inhale, take your hands up to the sky, stretch up. Walk your hands behind you. As far as feels comfortable, roll the shoulders back and stretch your chest forward, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Beautiful. And then let's come to our mats. Come to all fours. And then from here, we're going to come into our puppy pose. This releases the shoulders and the upper back. So coming down either to forearms like this, and we want the knees to be in alignment to the bum, so try and snuggle them back so the knees are in alignment, so you get a bit of a release in the low back, and either staying here or walking the hands forward. Now if you're nursing a bad shoulder, you may want to keep one arm in, as I am, but my other arm can extend. See how this feels, and just lift the upper back and then drop it down again, so you feel that stretch in the upper back. Sorry, fiddling with my music. Beautiful, core, that's it. Just feel that softness in the back. Feel that release wherever you are. It's quite strong on the shoulders, so you want to feel a nice stretch, but not too much. Take one more breath. And then walk your hands up and walk your hands underneath your shoulders. And then from here we're going to find some cat-cows. Tuck the toes. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arch the spine. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arch the spine. And just doing this every morning is such a beautiful practice, just to soothe the nervous system and get into the spine, lubricating the spinal column with synovial fluid. One more. And then coming to all fours. Option to stay with cat-cow or tuck your toes and lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. And take the feet a little bit wider than the hips and bend the knees a little bit here. So bend the knees, seeing if you can kind of really stretch the bones in the bum up so you get that space in the low back. Bending the knees as much as feels good for you. And then straightening the legs again. Legs don't have to be completely straight, but it feels nice in the calves to get a little stretch. And then do that again. Bend the knees. Activate the pelvic floor, draw navel to spine. And then again. And release. And last one like this. Pressing into the hands, activating the upper arms. Beautiful. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, and then walk your feet towards your hands towards your feet. Bring your straighten the back, straighten the legs, a little flat back here. Inhale, exhale, fold forward, take your hands onto your elbows. Knees can be slightly bent and just coming from side to side in ragdoll. And then root to rise, coming all the way up, taking your hands up over your head. Oh, sorry. Press into your palms, stretch up. And then bring your hands down to your heart. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Turn the feet slightly out. And then slide your hands above the knees. So your heels of your hands are on the fleshy part of your legs. And your legs are as wide as you feel comfortable. And just drop the bum down here. So just drop the bum down. So we're toning the upper legs. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears. So you should feel that quite strong in your legs. And then we're going to bring the right shoulder forward and the left one back. And then coming up. Beautiful. Super slow. Lovely. That's it. Slow it down a little bit, Charlotte. 2 more. Come back to the center, really activate the legs, press into the feet. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Take a few little pulses here in Goddess. 3, 2, 1. Root to rise, coming all the way up, pressing your palms together. Step to the short edge of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky, stretch up, lift up. Exhale, float forward, bring your hands down to the floor or down to blocks or down to shins. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, ground the hands, come back to plank pose. Drop the knees if you need, take a breath, draw navel to spine. Drop your knees, drop your torso, keeping the triceps tucked into the body. Inhale, either in Sphinx as I'm doing now, or with your thumbs in alignment to your nipples, come into baby cobra as I'm doing, or a little bit higher. Check in with your low back. Try not to tense the glutes too much. Exhale, float forward, press back. Come into child's pose just for a breath. Find that space in your back. On your next inhale, curl up through the spine. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. And again, inhale. At the bottom of this exhale, step your feet to the front of your mat. Slide your hands to shins or thighs. Flatten the back, straighten the legs. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, root to rise. Bring your hands up over your head. Bring your hands to your heart. Step your right foot back. So step the right foot back, coming onto the ball of the right foot, coming into high lunge, bending into the front knee. Back knee can be slightly bent. And then from here, bring your hands into cactus arms. So elbows are in alignment to shoulders. Fingers are wide. Drawing the elbows back so you get that stretch in the chest. Inhale. Exhale, forearms come together and there's a little rounding of the back. And then again, inhale. So legs are strong. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale this, take your arms as wide as you can. And then bring your arms around you, give yourself a hug, Monday hug. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Bring your hands to prayer. And then step that back foot in as slowly as you can. And then change sides. Take the left foot out, coming into your high lunge, bending into the knee. Elbows come up in alignment to the shoulders. Stretch back, opening your heart to Monday. Inhale. Exhale, little rounding of the back. Inhale. Exhale, beautiful, looking good, Cora. Can see your legs. And again. And again, beautiful. And then open your arms wide. Ready for the week. And then bring the opposite up round. Give yourself a hug. Some mum love. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky, bring them down to your heart, and then step your foot together. Beautiful. Feet slightly wider than hip distance. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, float forward. Hands to shins, hands to floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands, step back to plank. Take an extra little breath here, draw navel back to spine. Connect to your strength. Drop your knees, drop your torso. Inhale, cobra, sphinx, whatever you feel. Check in with the low back. Exhale, float down to the belly. Press back. Take a little recovery in child's or halfway child's as I'm doing. Beautiful. Inhale, curling up to all fours, tucking your toes. Option to stay with cat-cow or to come into downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, we want the back of the neck to be long, so we're looking towards the shins or the feet. Take a breath. Slide your left foot across to the middle of the mat and lift that right leg. So you can lift the leg really high if you want to come onto the tippy toes of the left foot and lift it up to the sky, then do. Or just lift a little way. Inhale. Exhale, plant your foot in between your hands. Pivot the back foot round, heel to arch alignment of the feet. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Inhale, warrior one. So the hips are kind of towards the short edge. Bring your hands down to your heart. Interlace your hands behind you, or if that's too strong, just have the arms back as I am, or interlace, but check in with the shoulders. Press the hands, the knuckles down as you take your gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, float forward. So you're coming towards that front leg. The legs are not moving. Press into the feet, lift up. So rolling the shoulders back, getting a release in the shoulders with a blunt bind. Beautiful. And again. So legs are strong. Your legs are your roots of your tree coming up. Last one. Option to stay here for an extra breath. So the right side of the ribs is either near the thigh or much higher. You can keep lifting the hands if that feels sweet for your shoulders. Press into the feet, root to rise, come up. Beautiful. Inhale, release your hands. Exhale, hands come down to the floor, either side of the front foot. Step back to plank. Take an extra little breath. Draw navel to spine, engage pelvic floor. Drop your knees, drop your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float down. Press back. Take a little recovery breath. We're energizing the body today. Always coming back to the breath. Inhale, curling up to all fours, tucking your toes, lifting your hips. Back of the neck long, take a breath. Exhale. Bring the right foot across to the middle of the mat. Take the left leg up, or the opposite one. And maybe you want to come onto the tiptoe of the right foot and lift the left leg just as far as feels good. Get that nice stretch. Inhale. Keep pressing into the hands and hugging the upper arm bones. Activating the triceps. And then bringing your foot in between your hands. Back foot comes down on the floor. Heel to arch alignment of the feet. Hips facing towards the front of the mat. They don't have to be dead facing. They can be kind of facing in some way. My hips are kind of there, not there, wherever they are. And then inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Stretch up. Again, lift your mula band, your pelvic floor. Bring your hands to your heart. If it's too strong for your legs, you may be too wide, so you may need to bring that back foot in a little bit. Interlace the hands or bring the hands behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Nice long neck. Take an inhale, gaze slightly up. And then exhale, come forward. You may come forward a little way like I am. Just close your eyes or soften your gaze as you're moving. Just feeling that openness of that chest and that release of the shoulders. Beautiful. Lovely, Charlotte. Front legs are really straight. Sorry, front knee's bent. Back leg is straight. And last one, either hanging out here where I am, drawing the knuckles up to the sky, drawing the shoulders back, breathing. Press into the feet, rise up, beautiful. Release your hands, inhale, take your hands up to the sky, lift up, stretch up, exhale, frame the front foot, step back to plank pose, take a breath. Going to come into a little side plank, so either dropping whichever knee, dropping one of your knees to the floor and taking this variation as I am now, okay, or taking full side plank. See how this feels for your shoulder, and really lifting up through the side body to activate the core. One more breath. Beautiful. Coming back to our plank. Take a little breath here, navel to spine. Then we're going to come onto the other side, so choose your option. The leg can come down, the underneath leg, or stay on top, but really lifting up through the belly, really getting the core working today on this Monday morning. And then coming back down to plank, looking good. From here, press into the hands and lift back up, coming into downward facing dog. And then walking your hands back towards your feet, to the back of your mat. And then root to rise, coming all the way up. Bringing your hands up over your head, bringing your hands down to your heart. So coming into a little standing pose now. Now maybe you have a strap handy, maybe you don't. So if you don't worry. So if you don't have a strap, you're just going to bring your hands around your shin as I am now, and then bring the leg out to the side like this, and then bring the leg across by holding. If you have a strap handy, then you're going to bring the strap under the ball of the foot, but don't worry if you don't need one. I didn't warn you that you needed a strap. So if you have one handy, bring the strap under the ball of the foot, and bring your right hand on the strap and the left hand onto your hip. And then see if you can just find your balance here. Beautiful. Draw the shoulders back, so it doesn't matter if the knee's bent. Really, this is really important for the brain that we stand on one leg. Now it seems crazy. And then take the leg out to the side. Find your breath, find your stability. And then bring the leg back to the center. Try and find your core, find your center. Switch hands, take the left hand onto the strap, right hand onto the hip, and bring the leg across the body. I know it's difficult. This is easy for you. You can extend that right arm and come into a little twist. Come back to the center, take both hands onto the strap and draw your head towards your knee if you can. If not, don't worry. Tree's always an option. And then release. Ooh, have a little shake out. And then let's switch sides. So bringing the strap around the ball of the left foot. And bringing the strap into the same hand as leg, hand on hip. Roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, flex into the foot. Take a breath, and this activates a lot of core. Find your center, and then take your leg out to the side. Beautiful core. Draw the toes back, core, so you're flexing into the foot. Beautiful. One more breath. Find that beautiful 6-second inhale, 6-second exhale. Coming back to the center. Change hands. Bring your left hand onto your hip. Come into the little twisty version, so the foot is coming over to the right, and then maybe you can release the hand if you're stable, look towards the left. Quite challenging. Come back to the center, both hands onto the strap. Take an extra little stretch here, bringing your head towards your knee, and then release. Have a little shake out, a little Monday shake out. And then taking your feet wide and bringing your feet flush to the outside edge of your mat. Bring your hands onto your hips, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, look up, exhale, fold forward. And maybe you just want to come halfway. If you've got low blood pressure, glaucoma, any eye issues, don't go so low. Inhale. And then option to bring your hands behind you or to find a bind. Roll the shoulders down the back body. Inhale, either coming halfway or coming all the way and bringing the hands up. So just seeing how this feels for your shoulders. Maybe it feels nice, maybe it doesn't. So listen to that, honor that. Let the head just release, give the head a little bob. One more breath. And then root to rise, coming all the way up. Take your hands up to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. And then step your feet together so your feet are hip distance. And then we're going to do a little hip opener and a shoulder release. So eagle pose, you bring your balance onto your left leg, and then you're going to bring the right leg around. So it kind of wraps, hopefully you can see my legs properly, with a little bend in the knees. So your hands can come on your hips. You're activating the core muscles and bending into the knees. I'll show you this way as well. Okay, if this is too difficult, just find tree legs. So the knees are bent, and then you're going to wrap your right arm around your left. Okay, so this is eagle pose. So we're working into the hips and the shoulders. From here, see if you keep wobbling, it's fine. Find a tree leg if it's too difficult. From here, bringing your elbows forward slightly, and if this is tweaky for your shoulders, just bring the forearms together and just take a little breath. One more breath. Keep trying to just find that little activation of the pelvic floor, and then release your arms. So the legs stay in eagle legs, and your torso comes forward. This is toning the core. Your torso comes forward. And then coming up, bringing the hands together. And then release. Give the legs a little release. So it takes quite a lot of concentration. And then bring the opposite leg around. Again, it doesn't have to come all the way, just some of the way. Bend into the knees. A little lift up of the pelvic floor. Draw navel to spine. Take your opposite arm round. Okay, if this is difficult, just press the forearms. Take an inhale. Bring the elbows towards me to release the shoulders. See if you can sit a little bit deeper, bend the knees more, it's quite strong on the legs. Beautiful, again we're on one leg, activating the cognitive function of our brain. And then release the arms, bring the torso slightly forward. Beautiful, lovely. And then bring the palms together, coming all the way up. Take a little shake out. And then we're going to come to seated. So you can either just come to seated as you choose. If you've got knee issues, then don't do what I'm going to do. But if you want to work a little bit more on balance, then we're going to come onto the tiptoes, bring our hands towards our heart, and slowly come down. Coming all the way down. Not ideal for knees. Just take a moment here. And then we're going to bring our hands out in front of us, and then we're going to come back and take a little couple of boats just to activate the core before we lie down. So option to stay here with the feet down and take this version, which is easier, okay, this version. Option to bring the legs together and hold on to the back of the legs, squeezing the inner thighs together, this version, which is kind of the next level, or hardest level, to extend the hands and work from here, but it's a little bit more difficult for the low back. So see where you are, really activating the core, Roll the shoulders back away from the ears, and we're going to take 5, 5, 4, breathing, 3, 2, last one. Option to hold here. I'm going to just hold here, or hold on the legs, or bring the feet down, or make it harder, extend the legs. Keep rolling the shoulders back, hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring your thighs in, a little squeeze. One more, so just choose if you want to hold here. So squeezing the legs together, or feet down. So legs are together, squeezing the thighs. If you feel comfortable, taking to the harder version. Holding for 5, squeezing those upper thighs together. 3, 2, 1. Draw your thighs in, have a little hug, and then roll over onto your back. Let's bring our knees in towards the belly. Take a little rock from side to side. Let's just drop our knees over to the left, arms wide, gaze to the right, belly twist. And take your knees over to the right, look towards your left, little stretch out here. And then come back to the center. Let's come into Shavasana. Just take a minute here, just allowing our bodies to absorb. So important to have a couple of minutes of just absorbing, a minute, a couple of minutes of absorbing. Let's just take 3 more deep breaths here. Nice long yogic breaths. Through the nose. We want to try and work to 6-second inhales, 6-second exhales. So let me just count you so you can feel that. Inhale for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. One more. Inhale for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Pause. Exhale for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Pause. And coming back to your normal breath. Start to gently move your body, stretch into your fingers, stretch into your toes. Bring your knees into your belly, take a little rock and roll, rolling over to your left side. Coming up to seated. And it's 8:31, so let's close out our practice with an Om today, feeling grounded. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Grateful for this Monday as we inhale through the nose and Om through the mouth. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.